Once upon a time, in a quaint village by the sea, there lived a fisherman named Mr. John. His life was simple but lonely. Every morning, he joined other fishermen on their boats, casting nets into the sea and catching enough fish to feed himself and sell for his livelihood. While he earned a modest living, his solitary existence often left him yearning for companionship. One day, Mr. John decided to visit a neighboring village to sell his catch. He packed his basket of fresh fish and set out on the forest path that connected the two villages. The forest was quiet except for the rustling leaves and chirping birds. As he walked, Mr. John noticed an unusual sight: a man sitting by the roadside with a small tiger cub. Curious, Mr. John approached and asked, "Why are you sitting here with the tiger cub?" The man, looking exhausted and sorrowful, replied, "I am a poor traveler. I have no money and my family has not eaten in 2 days. This cub was given to me, but I can't take care of it anymore. If you give me your fish, you can take the cub. At least it might find a better life with you." Mr. John was taken aback. The thought of owning a tiger cub seemed both exciting and daunting, but seeing the man's desperation, his heart softened. He thought, maybe this cub can bring some happiness to my lonely life. So he agreed to the trade and carried the cub home in his arms. When he returned to the village, the sight of Mr. John with the tiger cub caused a stir. "What are you going to do with that wild animal?" the villagers exclaimed. Some were amazed by his bravery, while others warned him of the dangers. "A tiger is not a pet, Mr. John," one elder said. "Even if it's small now, it will grow up, and its wild instincts will remain." Mr. John smiled and replied, "Don't worry, I will tame it. It will be my companion." He built a sturdy cage on his veranda and began caring for the cub. He fed it fish daily and spent time talking to it, treating it as a friend. Slowly the cub grew accustomed to Mr. John's presence, and a bond began to form. As weeks turned into months, the cub grew larger and stronger. Mr. John often took it for walks around the village, its leash tied securely. While some villagers admired the beautiful creature, others remained worried. "You are playing with fire, Mr. John," they warned. "A tiger is a tiger, no matter how tame it seems." Despite their concerns, Mr. John found a sense of purpose in raising the cub. It filled the emptiness in his life and became his closest companion. Years passed and the cub grew into a magnificent tiger, its stripped coat shining in the sunlight. Mr. John took pride in how he had nurtured and cared for it. One day, Mr. John set out for the neighboring village to sell fish. Leaving the tiger safely locked in its cage, the journey through the forest was familiar, and he quickly sold his catch at the bustling market. But as he prepared to return home, disaster struck. A massive landslide blocked the mountain road. For 5 days, Mr. John was stranded in the neighboring village. Unable to return home, he worried about his tiger left alone without food. When the road was finally cleared, he hurried back, his heart heavy with concern. As he entered his home, he found the tiger alive but weak, sitting quietly in the corner of its cage. Its ribs were visible and its eyes, once vibrant, now looked hollow. Overcome with guilt and love, Mr. John unlocked the cage and approached the tiger. Don't worry, he whispered. I am here now. I will take care of you. But hunger had awoken something primal in the tiger. In a tragic moment, it attacked Mr. John, its wild instincts overpowering years of taming. This heartbreaking story teaches an essential lesson. Some things, like the instincts of a wild animal, cannot be changed. Acting out of emotion while ignoring the laws of nature can lead to unforeseen consequences. Whether it's a wild tiger or a person with an unchanging nature, we must recognize and respect reality. Thank you for listening, and remember, learning is a journey. Join me next time for another story as we continue growing and discovering together.